Hello, everybody. Are we live today? Yes, we are live today. Where I am, so it may be evening, but right now it is morning for me. Remember, I'm on the West Coast now. I am no longer on the East Coast because if this was in the East Coast, it'd be like 12:49. So I hope everybody is doing well. Yeah, I just got the notification from Diamond Art Club that there was like 8 new kits, 4 restocks, and 4 new kits. So today we will be coloring. So this is going to be part of my hashtag. My hashtag for April is going to be April Fairy Tales. So basically, it'll be like any fairy tale, like Alice in Wonderland, like all the Disney fairy tales we grew up. So I'll count anything Disney, Alice in Wonderland, Little Mermaid, all that stuff will be acceptable. I'll even consider these fairy tale books. We'll take that. I have a Korean fairy tale coloring book. I'll take that. Marja Vanderbook has a fairy tale coloring book, so I'll take that. So the picture we're coloring today is this one. This is Alice sleeping. I think, what is this? Dreaming of Wonderland. And these designs come from Eeva Nikunen. She is the artist behind this one. So I'll just put this little sticky over here for now. So that way we know what we're coloring. So I have a piece of paper so I don't press too hard and it doesn't go on to the next page when we color. Sometimes when I color it goes, I have a weird thing happening with the color. Sometimes it drains. So I have some fine liners here today. If worse comes to worse, I have fine liners today. I put all my fine liners in my other pens that weren't the colored gel pens in this lovely little case here. Well, this is actually a very big case, in case anybody's wondering what this is. So this is what I keep my fine liners in. So it's a very big case. So we got the red diamond. There'll be a lot of red probably in this. These are Staedtler fine liners. So these are actually really good because they get into those tiny places that you can't get. The only thing I don't like is the tip goes really fast in these, but that's why you buy more than one of them. So over the years, I've had quite a lot of them. So those are black spades, but we're going to do the colors a little bit different here today. So red, green for the clovers. You see how these are fine liners, but when I get rid of my fine liners, I'm not going to buy them again. So hello to the one. I'm going to write hello to everybody in the chat. So just pinning it. So we got a message pin. So yes, that is the pin is there. So then we go do the green. Yes, hello to everyone in chat. And I left below where you could purchase it if you so desire to purchase these lovely fine liners. The fine liners. See, now I'm messing up. What I meant to say is, I like that they give us an Alice that's dreaming of Wonderland. I haven't seen me use these in a while. I had to dig these, like, I had to go up to my top shelf and grab the box that I kept them in. I just figured when I ran out of like stuff, and then I got this big thing in the box, and then I was like, what can I use that box for? Like we're all like always looking for things. Like, what can you use a box for? And I do have Arteza fine liners, so I got those a long time ago. I have all kinds of things in here that I wasn't really aware that I had until I started boxing the stuff and looking at the stuff. So it's kind of like, why do I have so much stuff here and I don't even know how I have so many pens. So you see, you have to be careful when you use these. The Staedtler ones, I will say hands down, I like the out of all the fine liners I've ever had, I will say that I have liked the Staedtler fine liners the best. Finding little things I miss. That's the thing somewhat with some of the color and having issues. You find some stuff that you've not seen before. So I'm not really sure what this one is. I'm changing the color of the spades to blue. This one's going to take us a long time ago. I'm not watching NXT Stand and Deliver right now because I'm streaming. So I figure when I'm done with this and I'm done doing my stuff, I'll watch the repeat later today. Hopefully I'll be done before the night one of WrestleMania starts. Yes, I am a big wrestling fan. Have been a fan since I was very, very little. I remember watching Hulk Hogan back in the day. So that's how long I've been a wrestling fan, since I was tiny, tiny, tiny little child. If anybody's wondering. I'm thinking dark red for the cards. And the ones with the thing are going to be white. So. But here we got a Prismacolor white pencil. So we're going to need the white again, so I'm going to leave that out. So when I sharpened my Black Widow. I used Black Widows today. I love using Black Widows. Hello to the one person in the chat. This is April Fairy. This isn't as dark as I thought the color would be, but it's still a nice red, you know what I mean? I hope you guys all enjoy this. Even if we don't get a lot of people in the chat today, you know, people will look back at this and say, oh, you know, I really do like Color in Heaven magazines. I know some people say, well, the paper isn't as good anymore. Well, then you use pencils. I'm still waiting for my Wing Fantasy special, and the next book, they already released what the next book is. Sometimes I know what it is going to be like a few days before they actually tell us what the next book is. So I wasn't really sure because I got a sneak preview, but you know, I'm trying to figure out whose book it is, and it's Fabiana Treye's book, and she's done some work with them. So as you can tell, I have come to really like the Color in Heavens. You know, some people say they don't like them, and I'm like, well, what don't you like about them? The price or the way the thing is? You know, like to me, it's not an issue of how much the color is. To me, the issue is cyanide pink. For straight coloring, I prefer using Black Widows and my colors, but I also have on occasion used my other pencils. And I'll tell you right now, if I had to pick my favorite pencil, it would probably be the Black Widows, because you can buy the sets and they're very cheap for 15, 16, what is it, like $15, $16. Like that Finding the Lost Girl set, which I enjoy very much. Someone asked me, am I making any progress in my finishing the books? I think the one that I'm closest to finishing, believe it or not, is not a top 10 book, but is the Mono Green with 12, and then Moon Magic, which is one of the top 10. I only have 14 left in that. So once I start getting under like 15 pages, I start writing down on a little, I have a little sticky note. On the sticky notes, I put on the sticky notes what the colors are going to be. These are going to be orange and brown inside. So I've already come up with the color scheme. In my mind, I come up with a color scheme, and then I'm like, then sometimes I may pick the wrong color, and then That's also another reason to swatch them, because sometimes you don't know what a pencil is going to look like on paper until you actually color in that paper, and it looks nothing like what you originally thought it was going to be. So different paper is going to respond differently to different mediums. So someone asked me, how do you decide which coloring books to keep and which ones to, when you're done, you don't want anymore? You know, for everybody, it's different. And I guess it depends on, a lot of it depends on the imagery, the paper, how big it is. Like, I'm not going to when I finish my $300 I'm not keeping that book. That book is massive in size. Don't get me wrong, I like the pictures, but I'm just like, it's so massive in size, you know? And I think that would be a big book to finish. Some of you already got the new Emil de Lejo. So basically, if you guys didn't get Saga Oak Sagna, she basically came out with another printing of it. So it's going to be in hardcover with 10 new images, but that's not enough for me to buy another coloring book. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm trying to reduce how much stuff I have. You know, sometimes it's not about quantity. To me, I'm now about quality over quantity. You know, in the beginning, I was like, oh, you can never have too many books. But when you start running out of space, like, then you also move to a smaller space, you realize just how much stuff you have, how much stuff you don't really, how much stuff do you really need? How much stuff do you not need? You know, these are things that, you know, you start asking yourself. You know, you ask yourself these questions like, how much? Hello to the two people in chat. Say hello. I like seeing two people in chat. Yay. Say hello. We don't fight here. We're very friendly here. We're not antisocial. We love being here. We love when we interact with people. Like, the only things that I get every month is the Color in Heaven because I'm in the subscription. This one happened to be a subscription issue. The Wizard of Oz one was one that I had to purchase because it didn't come as part of my subscription. So like the calendars and the annuals are not part of the subscription. So keep that in mind, that some books are part of it. So it's all about, you know, there have been some issues of Color in Heaven where I'm like, I scratch my, this is an issue. But overall, I like the magazine, you know. So what? They have one issue which it doesn't appeal to me, but that doesn't mean that it's not a bad issue. It's just it may not be your taste at the time, but you know, later on you might have an itch to color something like that. So you see what we're doing here? This is cyanide pink. It's a Black Widow. Mm-hmm. You constantly get these little buzz things on your phone. It's like I get them mad when I get the buzz, like buzz. Annoying, you know, when if you're ever at work and you get that annoying beep, beep, beep. Sometimes I have to shut that off because it just gets so annoying. And I put this thing in to protect the other pages sometimes because I go too hard. So that's it. I found that this is an excellent way to protect your stuff. I actually saw someone else do this once, and they were using markers on their books. So they did that to help with to prevent the markers from bleeding through. This also keeps your cardstock in stock in stock. You know, I was going through some of my PDFs and I saw some of my unfinished PDFs, not the ones that I currently print out, but old PDFs that I haven't colored in. And I have them on a yellowish cardstock, and I'm like, where on earth did I get this cardstock? Because it's different than my other cardstock. My other cardstock is a lot more white in color. Well, I'm just curious where I bought it. Like, I don't remember where I got it. Probably got it at an office supply store somewhere back when I lived in New York. And Copic paper is very expensive to get. As you guys probably guess, I'm trying to color a lot of the things the same now, not different, because then it's a more cohesive. I learned the circle trick by doing markers. Actually leaves a lot less, what do we call it? A lot less traffic on it. But I also use one of these, which is an F-mat sharpener. I also have a swordfish, but my swordfish right now is kind of being iffy. Like, it doesn't like these kind of pencils, but this one does. So it's a really interesting thing that's happening with my pencils right now. Burnt orange. See how this is nice? And I need a brown. I'm going to do here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. See, brown, and this comes from the regular Black Widow sets. Well, this is what the new sets look like. But these are what like the old sets look like. The original sets look like this. But now when you buy the original sets, they're going to look like this because they want to make the pencil look more uniform. I always like seeing what these colors look like when they're finished because it's really just really nice color contrast. It's going to be a little green, so. I love Black Widows. Hi, Ivy. Can't really see. Thank you, Ivy Pro. These are Black Widows. So far, everything we've done has been Black Widows and some. I have some fine liners here. So I keep my fine liners in a box because there's just so many of them, and I've gotten a lot of different pens over the years. So a lot of this is different things, but for all of my pencils, I have them each in different cases. So this is burnt orange, and this is from the Scorpion set. The Black Widows come in different sets, but they all complement each other. You know what I mean? Like, now I love Black Widows. I think they're a great pencil. Not a lot of money, and you get a lot of bang for your buck once you learn how to use it. Like because they're thin pencils, like the Prisma stuff. Some people have complained that they're really hard to sharpen. Your friend, in my opinion, if you ever have a problem with sharpening pencils, get yourself one of these these big hand cranks like an Athmat, a Swordfish. That will do the job. But for bigger pencils, it might not do the job. Like for bigger pencils like Luminance and other pencils, like the thicker pencils, I have a problem. So I always recommend getting one of these things that has a big thing, so you could have a bigger pencil, you know. The coloring today from the Color in Heaven special, Alice in Wonderland special. I'm on subscription, so I get I pay a certain amount every month, and then the magazine comes. When you're on subscription, you pay I think what do I pay? Like $11 a month of my subscription, maybe 12. I pay $12 a month, and I get an issue every month. So some months they forget. Sometimes something goes wrong with the mail. Like last month, I didn't get my when I didn't get my Angels and Demons. It was so long that I sent a letter saying, "Listen, I didn't get my Angels and Demons special by Josh Lee," and they sent me a replacement, and it came. So they're extremely good at that. And I have something underneath it to protect any pages that I may have colored on the time, so that way it won't spread in there. Like, I love Black Widows. I think Black Widows are amazing pencil. Very good for the money. Don't get me wrong, I love my Prismas, I love my polychromos, I love all the other stuff too. I found for pencils, when you do it circular, it gives it a little bit more texture to the pencil. I don't know why, but some people's. Yeah, but the thing about the Prismacolors here, and a lot of people don't understand this, that they're thinner pencils like Black Widows. So you can layer with them, you can blend with them. I find that when I use my polychromos, I don't blend very well with them, and I don't know why. I seem to blend as well as I can blend with a Prisma or Holbein pencil a lot better. Don't get me wrong, I think the polychromos are good pencils, but the thing with them is sometimes I can't work with Prismas in certain books, and sometimes I can't work with polychromos in certain books. So, sometimes the paper determines what you color with it. So to me, if I had to recommend the best brands, really Prismacolor, Holbeins. Now I'm going to say something. The Holbeins are a little pricey to get. A lot of people are like, well, you recommend them highly. Why do you recommend it? Because to me, the Prismacolors have it's like if Prismacolor and Polychromos had a baby. That's the way I would describe them. Really, I would describe them like that. Like they had a baby, this is what they would look like. Because of Alabama View, we are coloring this book today. Alice in Wonderland, and I'm having a hashtag this month. It is called April Fairy Tale. So any fairy tale book, like I will count any Disney book for the hashtag. If you do have Color in Heaven specials that relate to a fairy tale, like Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. Hannah Lynn has a fairy tale special in the Color in Heaven magazines, which I was looking for today and I couldn't find it, but it's somewhere in my Heaven hashtag. If you have a Korean, I have a book of Korean fairy tales. I'll count that. Maja Vanderbook has a fairy tale book. I'll count that a coloring book. So anything that's basically a fairy tale, like Little Mermaid, any Disney fairy tale. If you have Korean, if you have Chinese, Eerie, I'll count Eerie's books as the fairy tale ones that she has. So I'll even count the world literature one because there's a lot of fairy. You have an ASAP fables. I'll count that. That's my hashtag for the month. So I thought I'd do a book that symbolizes the hashtag. So this is Irish Green. These are my Black Widows. I have the Color 180 set and I have the pastel set of 50. Now, I'll say this, there's a lot of good budget-friendly pencils now. When I started, there wasn't that many budget-friendly pencils, but now there's like so many budget-friendly pencils. We've basically done this almost all in Black Widow so far, but for the skin and now most times I would have done this, but because there's so many details on the outside, I feel like I have to do the outside of the picture first because there's so many little details on this, and then we'll do the inside. And we've also used some fine liners. These are my staplers and Artis. I have them in a big box. So, but when I'm done with them, I throw them out, and hopefully I have more, you know, like I have a whole box full of pens, like gel pens that aren't my color it, fine liners, both Stapler teasers, and a bunch of other stuff that I have picked up over the years. Like I have these chameleon markers that I got from a sketch box many years ago. So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. When they don't work, I throw them out because it's just one less thing to do. So. I must say, when I saw the news yesterday, I was like stunned. Like, there's a thing in California where this man was basically a hoarder, and he had all this stuff, garbage in his front yard, garbage in his backyard. I'm like, I've never seen a hoarding situation that bad. You ever watch the show Hoarders? I mean, these people are like, now there's a man that needed psychological help. I'm wondering if my first load of clothes is done. Yeah, I had to split my laundry into two things to this morning, so hopefully, you know. Wait a minute, the cyanide pink. I see something on it. So, you know, I'm always trying to figure out things. So I always like to see what I can do. So, where's my Christmas? No, you have so many cases. It's like trying to figure out where you do everything. So this is the case for my Christmas. As you can see, I keep my Christmas in here. All my Black Widow sets are in this case. I buy the cases on Amazon. I particularly like this one because this is a bit too food. As you can see, I have my original Black Widows here. All my Black Widows are here, all the sets. And then all my duplicate ones, which I buy from many various sets, are here. So all the duplicate sets that I've bought from are here. So that way it's an easier way for me to find them, you know. So I try to keep them as neat as possible because I put some extra sets of Black Widows when I'm running out of some of the colors that I use frequently in my Black Widows. Yes. So everything colors very nicely. So now we're going to do blonde hair, of course. I like to make my blonde a little bit more sunburst. So this is called sunburst yellow. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the green in there. See how little the thing is? These are so little, these fine liners. So we're going to do blonde hair because she's an Alice. And pretty much stuff young. I think the only book that I ever didn't do not blonde Alice was Jasmine Becky Griffith has fairy tales in her book, so I will count those too. If you have a fairy tale picture, I'll count those. So they had April fairy tales. I thought April fairy tales would be a cute hashtag. Now you see what happens when you press too hard with the Christmas? This happens. So yeah, it's not a big deal. But this, see what happens when you have a lot of blackwood pencil? With the Black Widows, it leaves a lot of black in your pencil. sometimes after I'm done with these streams, I put a graphite pencil in my sharpener to clean it out a little, because some of the pencils have I don't know what it's called. It's a residue that left in them. My nieces are going to come to visit me next weekend, so we might not be able to do a stream next weekend. I've also been applying for some new jobs, so hopefully I get a call back. I just want more hours and more time, you know, and I need full-time work so I can get the benefits, hopefully. This is called Sunburst Yellow. So now we need a green in there. I forgot to put the green, but there's plenty of greens in this set. So green is not a problem for me. So what color should we make the pillows? I'm like kind of in a good situation with the pillows. Salmon pink. Purple. But a light purple. Lilac. This is the old purple from the original Prisma set, so I don't know how many of these I have, because I saw a few of them in my never used them. I recently gave away my Sohos because I didn't like them and they were hurting my hands. Every time I use the Soho Urban pencils, they started hurting my hands. I don't know if this is something new because of my illness. Plus, they're always hard to use in books. I don't know why. The table does not like those pencils for some weird reason. This is the neck. They no longer have lilac in stock in the Prisma, so this happens to be from an old set, and I think the color is, what is this color? What shade? And I think the new color is amethyst. I don't know what it is about purple that just goes well with Wonderland. It's like purple is like the best color. You ever, you know, when you ever see all these fairy tales, you think, well, that's because these fairy tales have. I don't know what it is about purple that it. I've been putting a lot of purple in it. But I do enjoy these books. I think The Color in Heaven is a great way to discover artists. And I don't think the subscription price is bad because I'm paying it every month. I think it's like one of the few subscriptions that I actually had to put my subscription on hold when I was moving because of all the things. You know, I canceled it and then I resumed it. So I felt bad when I did that, but for practicality reasons, I did it. No, this is lilac, actually. Pale blue is what we'll use on her nightgown, probably. You have to remember, sometimes when they film certain things, or when they did it, it's in the time period. Like, you ever notice in Wizard of Oz, the movie with Judy Garland, everything is in black and white when it starts, and then when we're in the Land of Oz, everything is Technicolor. It's bright and vivid. I think, well, this is lilac, but they don't longer use this color. They use a similar color because they somehow they say it was too expensive to produce the lilac color. Next thing will probably be the eyebrows and the face and the skin. And then we'll do the nightgown. I used to be terrible at skin, and I got a lot better at it after watching a lot of people's videos. I think my mother's taking out, so don't mind the noise. I think my mother's taking out the clothes to put in the dryer. Yeah, we got that fixed a few weeks ago, so. Yeah, we have one in the house, so. You see how this comes out really pretty. I love the purple. That purple's nice. I actually like that purple. We can, what is this color? Oh, this is a nice color. This is light aqua. Oh, that is nice, actually. Yeah, ours is always in blue, I know. So we'll probably do the books in like a different color, like a yellow, gray. The books can be as many different colors as you need them to be. I saw this color and I was like, oh, I like that blue because it's like a bluish green. These are my Prismas. So. The trick with Prismas, when you learn how to use them, and I say someone had this idea to do a circle with your pencils, which is a really good idea in theory, but it doesn't always happen like that. This is, what's this one? Key to good skin. I always start off, when I do a skin tone, I always start off with a white pencil. I particularly like it in the Prismacolor, or I like the titanium white in the luminance pencils. Basically, white in any set is going to work well. Except I'm going to make that dark blue. That little piece of it is going to be dark blue. It's going to be like a pale blue here. So as we see this, it starts to come together, you know, really nicely. I like when it comes together. Ooh, now we have 7. Thumbs up this video because it helps us with our views. So we put the white down, right? Now you can get some really nice skin tones that you can use in the skin tones, but I typically use the pastels instead of the skin tones from the Black Widows. Those just have the Merc cream. This is the pastel set that they came up with, the Monarch. So the idea is to build up the skin tone. This is light pink on the Monarch. Typically love the Black Widows, the Monarch sets, and the skin. Like, to me, if you have a good pastel set of colored pencils, you can use them for skins. They tend to be a little bit more on a deeper scale color palette. Now, this is a weird color, but it's a good color. It's a Merc. Right? And then one more color in there. This is called Candy. I always put light peach as the last color in my Prismacolor. Still looks very light on camera, but that's okay. Like, colors, I can't do skin tones because there's not enough skin tones even with all the colors, but I think that's more of a straight color pencil. Here you can do a lot with this. There's my eggshell. This is eggshell in the Prismas. This you can also use as a blend-in, or the Granite Rose in the Luminance, or what is that other set? The Caran d'Ache pen. Luminance are good pencils, but they're very, very hard. My Caran d'Ache pencils are, I've both the Luminance and the the Pablos, and I'll say the Pablos are a better deal because the luminance are a little bit more on the expensive side. I do not have the extra 24 characters. I only have a 76 set of those, so this is beige. But you see how I went very light, the colors, and then I built it up. The trick with skin tones, and if you use other brands when you're doing skin tones, is to be very light with them because the colors are going to build back onto building up the colors. The luminance pencils are very, very expensive to do. So then I'll do one other pencil. Now we kind of use it like a blender to put everything together. Now, some people would say, well, you should really use a blender. I don't really like using the blender because sometimes I find that the blenders take colors away from it, but other people will use a blender and they do a really good job. I'm not really very good at using my blender pencils, so that's just me. Wow, we've already been at this for an hour. Wow. So now we're going to be doing the books. We'll color in the books and then we'll color in the clock before we color in the sheet. So I was thinking that we were going to make the books a different color, something very different than you normally see. I was thinking green and yellow for the books to give them some age. So this is an apple green color. I'm not sure what color we're going to do the bread spread. Yellow ochre. Oh, this is a nice one. Goldenrod. Oh, yeah, you may hear my mother speaking in the background, but if she don't, that's a good thing because I hear her. So you see how nice this is and everything is? I think it's important every once in a while to have nice. Like I like the look of the books. But you see, I use my Christmas colors excessively. But I will make a concession about them. They are difficult to learn. There is a learning curve to them. Once you learn how to properly use them, then you can start using them as straight color pencils. Because you're meant to use them as layering pencils, but after a while, you start using them. I think a lot of people forgot these were. So that's a really nice color. Yellow. This is lemon yellow. I'm thinking that's going to be orange. Then we'll make this nice. Thinking that's going to be an orange. See, sometimes my pencils get so small, I'm like, that I always have to buy orange. It's like ridiculous. So when I go to the stores or I order them, I order like two of whatever color I'm using a lot. So that way I don't feel like this is the Prismacolor orange, so it's a lot different than that orange, which was a burnt orange. I think this is meant to be a book. I gotta start thinking about what color I'm gonna do the bedspread. This is gonna be a cream. Cream. I think this is like the only way you really can do the clock without obscuring it. There's some people who are so good at doing those colors. I'm like, I envy those people who can just do it and not. Blue. You can tell that this is just really a nice picture coming along. I like the colors. I like everything about this. I definitely enjoy the colors in this. Sometimes I have to draw a line to know where the colors start and end. Now I'm like not sure where the color is going to go next. Thinking a gray lavender would be like the perfect color for this. This is gray lavender. Like it matches the pillows and it's not going to conflict. I don't think it's going to conflict with as much as the other stuff is going to conflict. But this green is, oh, it's like almost dead. So I'm going to put that back in the pen section. I thought we were going to use our gel pens, but I obviously did not think about that. I think gray lavender because it goes with the colors. So actually, I think that color looks nice, actually, because it doesn't conflict with a lot of other colors. There's a reason why. What, the gray lavender? I don't use it too often. But sometimes I want a muted tone. And I think for me, the gray lavender is more like a muted purple. Plus, it won't overpower a lot of other things that we're coloring, that we've already colored. Which one you use the gray lavender for skin? I don't think I've ever used gray lavender for skin. I use cream a lot, and I use light peach, and I've had, when I was going through some of my stuff, I saw a lot of light peaches. I guess I had ordered a lot because I was just using the light peach a lot, like crazy. Really, I've seen people use it, but I don't use it. Unless I'm like doing like monster skin or vampire skin, I don't really use gray lavender unless I'm doing a vampire or a zombie. That's when I do it for skin, when I'm doing vampires or zombies. I also, the last book I bought in April, you didn't see this because it wasn't part of the last, was this one. I bought this from Dover Publishing. This is called the Romantasy Coloring Book. A lot of you probably have already seen it. But I tell you, the paper is like that Dover coloring book. So I got the first one done, and I did this one. Some of you may have already seen it on Instagram. But I love this book. This book has some amazing coloring in it. So, I can't wait to do this, one thing that I love to do and coloring it. So, for those who haven't, really, I've never used it in skin tone unless I'm doing vampires and zombies. That's the only time I use it in skin. As you can see, I have the little blue thing. That's for when I finish, I put it there. So that way then I put it in a finished pages drawer. Anything I color for the month, I tell the kids they can't use it. They can use any of my other books that aren't in the... So a lot of times I'll print out sheets, coloring sheets for them in paper, images on paper that they can color rather than them use my books, because who knows what they're going to do. I always remember when Saya used my Disney book and she just did that scribble in it. I was like, oh my God. This is what happens when you give your coloring books to a 3-year-old. See, it looks good now. Like, it's not overpowering what I've already colored. That's why I like the muted tone. Looks like I'm running low on this color. Hopefully I have another one. And I usually use them up to this point. When they get to this point, then I replace them, because it's just, I have the thing where I like to keep my pencils for as long as I can. Because we all know that with inflation and everything going on, the colored pencils are now getting insanely priced. I mean, Prismacolors are still one of the best pencil values, but when I went to replace some of my Holbein colored pencils, they wanted like $4.25 for a pencil, and I got really mad, and I was only able to get like 6 of them and 2 of 3 colors. So you can tell I was kind of a little pissed off at how expensive they are. So I'm trying to find another. You know, the luminance too. I want to eventually get the full 100 set, but I only have 76. And when I started, I got a small set of 24. And then over time, I bought them one by one. But now it's like you can't get those 24 unless you buy them one by one. Or you have to buy the 20 set, which is $60. The luminance pencil, full set of 100, is almost like $400, which is kind of insanity. So what we have used, I did not use the color pencils like I thought. I did bring them, however. So we use Black Widows and Prismacolors for this. I did not use my colors like I thought I would. But that shows you what you can do. Here's some of the stuff that I've already done. We did today, but I haven't done a whole lot in this book. This was a regular issue. So I did this one a long time ago, right? This was like one of the first ones I did in the book. As you can tell, I'm doing this one in progress. This is a whip. This is also a whip. I was trying to get this done for Valentine's Day. Didn't finish it. So you guys can kind of understand where I come from when I do some of these pictures. I plan on starting them and never finish them. Then I have another one, I believe, in this book. I think I only have one other one. I think I did it on a live stream, because we were doing it on... Yeah, we did this one on a live stream. I did this one, I think, kind of like it was a St. Patrick's Day one or something like that. But I did this one because I wanted to do it, and I don't think I've done anything else in this book. So I still have a lot in this Color in Heaven. But I do my Color in Heavens because I feel like they're very much worth the price of money that I pay for them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. I hope you all have enjoyed this picture. I know I have. Stay safe, stay healthy. And everybody, bless you. Stay safe. If you need to, wash your hands. If you feel like you need to wear a mask when you go out, wear a mask. I know we're still like in that post-COVID era where we don't have to wear masks, but sometimes I still wear masks. When I go into the doctor's office, I do wear a mask because I just feel like, there's so many people who will go to the doctor's office and then you have to wear a mask. So that's one place I do wear a mask is the doctor's office. So, but you never know what other people are carrying. So you're in a place where there's a lot of people at work. I don't wear a mask. So I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. Bye, everybody.